Hello and welcome to the next video. In this video I'm going to be talking about a situation or an experience I had while living in Osaka, Japan many years ago. I'll call this the CSI experience. So while I was living in Japan, I remember going to, and I talked about this I think in prior videos, going to a bunch of different meetup and social events. One of these was to, let's see if I can pronounce it, the Buranko Bridge, which is this long wooden bridge in this mountainous area in the kind of the suburbs of Osaka. That was organized by this group that I had gone to their functions before. And at the time I had met this Japanese local who we were just kind of hanging out. She seemed like a really cool person, well-traveled, very friendly. Going back to something I talked about in another video, another exception. And mentioned it to her, hey, this group of people are going to go to this event and take pictures and see the fall colors on the trees there. It's really pretty. I'll post up a picture or two. And she said, sure, I'd love to go. All right, so we went. So while we're meeting up with the group at the train station and, getting stragglers coming in and the group's getting bigger and bigger and then we all decide to walk out, there's this one below average height, glasses wearing Japanese gentleman who's there, who sees me and just makes a beeline for me and starts talking to me in English, really fluent English. And, oh, hi, how are you? What's your name? Where are you from? So on, all the typical stuff we get. From the U.S., my name is David. Da, da, da. Oh, wow, you look like, oh, you're from Miami. I watch, I think it was CSI was the show he mentioned. I watch CSI and I love it. And, oh, Miami is great. And, he's very enthusiastic to the level of otaku enthusiastic. For those that don't know what otaku means, it's a Japanese term which basically translates to super fan, like somebody who's really into something, and they usually use that word together with whatever it is that you're a fan of. So I don't know, otaku of sushi, you love sushi, BTS otaku, whatever. And this guy was clearly an otaku of that show and kept talking about, you look like a guy on the show, and wow, Miami's great, and this, and he's all smiles and he's all hyper, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Have you ever seen the show? No, can't say I've seen the show. Oh, it's really great, and this and that, and oh my god, and he's just going on and on and on and on and on, and after a certain point, it gets a little bit too much, but I'm just, I just kind of nod politely and say, yeah, okay, all right, and you can imagine this continues and continues and continues and continues, and I get it. He's met somebody from a city that's mentioned in a show, that's shown in a show. An expat. He gets a chance to practice his English. Da 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 da. He's meeting new people, all that. But it gets a little too much. So, like I said, he's really into the subject. That in a way that I'm not, because I don't watch the show. Yes, I'm from Miami, but you're from Japan doesn't mean I want to talk about Zatoichi all day and bombard you with it if you're not interested in it. So I guess he finally reads the room, so to speak, and we're hiking up the mountain when all this is going on. So he then goes to the person that I invited along, I won't mention her name, and starts having a conversation in Japanese with her. Mind you, my Japanese is not perfect. Even to this day, it's survival light conversational. But a lot of language, like I've said in a prior video, is context. You may not know what people are saying, because of your language skills, but you can tell what they're saying based on what's going on. It's a good skill to hone if you don't have that. Anyhow, he's having this conversation with her, and it's all in Japanese, and she's just, she's like, yes, and, and, just chit-chat. He's mostly talking. So go up to the event, to the bridge, take our pictures, walk around, stop to eat at a certain point. We're coming back, and we kind of detour from the group because the group's done. So I remember it's just her and I start talking to her, and I said, and I forget his name now, but at the time, I remembered. I said, this gentleman, when he talked to you, was he saying how he felt I was a little strange and not very friendly, and he was kind of surprised? And she said, yep. And I said, because I wasn't as excited about the show as him, and the fact that I'm from Miami didn't excite me as much as it did him. Yeah. And I think he, at one point in English, he had asked her if we were a couple, and both of us like, no, we're just friends. And I think that's why he kind of just went on a little Japanese rant with her about me. And, so she's acknowledging what I knew because of the context. And I think either I said it first, or she said it and I agreed, that he was just a little strange, or a little too much of an otaku. And it was like, yeah. So that was the CSI incident. Now, I'm sure the guy's a nice guy, all that, but it's just a lesson in, just because you find something interesting doesn't mean everybody else does. And trying to get them excited about something they aren't excited about on their own isn't going to make them excited or interested. It's true, sometimes you do need to read a room. Now, was he trying to be friendly? Sure. However, our interests diverged. So, which is a general challenge of making friends anywhere. So, anyway, that's the end of this video. See you guys in the next one.